This week, we're going to talk about a translation tool from Microsoft. This is translator.microsoft.com. What this lets you do is set up conversations for, basically it creates a room so you can have different students join that conversation, and it will translate whatever you speak or say into their native language. And then whatever they speak or say will be translated back to you. This is a little bit easier than using Google Translate if you have a room with a bunch of different students who speak maybe 3 or 4 different languages, because you don't have to constantly switch back and forth. Each student can set their native language to whatever their native language is. You set yours to English, and it figures out everybody's conversation and translates for you as you go. So give this a try. If you use Google Translate, it's an awesome tool, but this has a little bit more functionality as far as participating with a group of people or a group of students. First thing you need to do is go to translator.microsoft.com, log in with your Google login. You'll see a little G. Click that, log in with your Stafford Schools address, and then you're going to want to go ahead and do start a conversation. Join a conversation is what your students will be using, or anybody else who's going to join that conversation. You put in your name, your native language. I've noticed today, just out of the blue, putting in Mr. Kramer for some reason, it keeps giving me an error. So if I just use initials, then it seems to be fine. If you check off that I'm using this product in a classroom, what will happen is it will limit it so that only you're the only one who then can actually have a conversation. The other students will be able to see your conversation or see you speaking, and they'll get their translation, but they won't be able to participate back to you in the conversation. So for this demonstration, I'm going to leave that unchecked, and I'm going to hit enter, and it should create my room. So let me jump back to the other screen. Sorry, I'm recording on one screen and then demonstrating on this screen. So up here, you'll have a QR code and a web address, and also just a code, which is the bold part here. Those are all ways you can share this conversation with your students. I can close that off. You'll get a little welcome message. And then I can either record, which right now I'm on a laptop that the microphone is being used for the recording that I'm doing now, so it won't let me record inside of Google Translate. A little tricky. Or I can just type my message here. So if I just type in hello class, that will show up in the conversation. Now I need to jump out and sign in as a student and show you what that looks like so that you can see what the students need to do. So let's pause this again. So again, changing browsers here so I can have one browser sign in as a student. I'm over on Firefox now, and I'm going to put in the conversation code that my teacher has given me. So let me go find that conversation code. Again, you could have shared this with them with a QR code. It's right up here, GLTCD. So I'm going to go over there, type that in, GLTCD. There we go. Now we got the right screen, GLTCD. Put in your name. So this would be student. Obviously, they put their real name in there, and then whatever their native language is. So you'll see there are speech and text languages, which are these at the top, and then there are text only down at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose French, and I'll enter that conversation room. Again, they'll get a cute little message. They'll come up and say, do you want to use your microphone, etc. I'm just going to ignore that for now. All right, and now I should be able to participate in the conversation. So again, the student will be able to record using the record button, as long as they have a microphone, or they'll be able to just type. And now we should see that conversation in all languages. So student 1 has said, hello, Mr. Kramer, to me. And I should write back, welcome to the class. Then again, if I jump over here, there's my message from my teacher in my own native language. So again, the idea here is there might be 3 or 4 students in here, and you as the teacher only have to speak and type in your own English native language. You don't have to worry about doing anything else. And then the students just set their browser, their Microsoft Translator to their native language, and they'll see everyone's conversation from you, the other students, etc. So they can ask questions, have questions answered, all right there without having to do a bunch of different things other than first getting into the room and setting their language. So that's Microsoft Translator. I know we push Google stuff all the time. Google Translate is great, but this is awesome tool if you have a room full of different students with different native languages. So I hope you enjoy that one, and we'll see you online again later this week.